We have a special guest all the way from Hayes, Kansas today, Mark Lindenberger, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mark, well, good morning. Thanks for being
Well,
here.
Thank you for having us.
And we're going to talk monster trucks. And it's one of Sarah's favorite topics, I know that. So,
Yes,
So we're going to do a
actually.
little tag team thing, Mark. So thank you for being with us today.
I appreciate it.
Good morning, Mark. We're glad to have you here this morning. I know when I think of a monster truck, I think of a giant truck, and I think of big tires, and I think of bright, fun colors. So I don't really know if that's what a monster truck is, but can you tell us a little bit or describe to us what really is a monster truck?
A really monster truck is 6-foot tires on it. It's got 6 by 43 by 25 tear tires. The trucks are basically about 10 foot tall, 10,000 pounds. And they are out there, kids just are in awe. I mean, it's something they're huge.
Mark, let's go back to the beginning, if you will, for some of us, including myself. To me, it seemed like monster trucks got on the scene maybe late 70s, early 80s or whatever. But let's go back way to the beginning, if you will. How did this monster truck idea take off?
It started way back. Everybody wanted their bigger, badder truck, one taller truck, meaner truck, see who could do the best. It started out in mud bogging. Then they went and actually Bob Chandler with Bigfoot, he put some 48s on under a pickup truck and
Which
did a
time
car
period?
crash.
Excuse me, Mark. What time period would that be?
80s,
Okay.
early
Okay.
80s, 82.
Okay.
And then you had more trucks come out. Everybody wanted their street trucks to get bigger, so they put bigger tires on. Then it transformed into a local promoter wanted a car crush. So they went out and crushed a car, and oh my God, it just went crazy. And then it has grown so much over the years, it's unbelievable. The suspensions were 2.5 ton military trucks, went to 5 tons, went to planetaries. Now they build their own housings, build their own frames, nitrogen shocks. I mean, it's just now they're jumping stuff taller than this building. And it's very, very grown. Kids love it to death. They see the trucks, they walk up to them, they're in awe over how big the
But
trucks are.
if you got a 6-foot tire, yes, I would think you'd be in awe. So.
Well, you have setups that kids like to sit inside the wheels and
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
But no, if you have never been to a monster truck show, what you see on TV doesn't do it justice. You got to see them in person. To see them up close and jumping like that is amazing.
That's awesome. I know right now that you were talking about how kids love it. Just Tuesday, my little one saw this really giant Jeep. And by giant, I meant like it had really giant tires. And you were right. He was so mesmerized over the tires.
Yes, they
so
are.
it's
They're in
definitely something that's fun for the family, I'm sure.
And tell you what, if it wasn't for the kids, there wouldn't be no monster trucks. I mean, they see it, they say, hey, Dad, let's go to the monster truck show. And it's what the kids love.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So a little bit of history on when did you start in the monster truck
I started,
industry?
like I said, we started mud bogging back in the early 80s. And then we put bigger tires on a truck, and we were asked to crush cars at a truck pull. We had real narrow, skinny tractor tires. We turned around and went over the cars, and that was kind of a act in the middle. We were kind of the act where we weren't the main event, but we were just a filler act. And then we started putting bigger axles under it, and then put the big tires on it, and started traveling across the United States. And it really, really made a lot of nice people, and that's what's so cool about it. You get to go see different places, meet different people like yourselves. It's very, very good.
Good morning, Enid. At 7:45, our special guest, Mark Lindenberger, is in town for the Monster Truck Show. We have some B-roll footage we'd like to show at this time, and I want to talk to Mark as you're seeing some of this as it's on the screen.
Yes.
Mark, you've got a special story. There's a lot more to you than just Monster Truck. You are a cancer survivor, and your effort about giving back to the community. You have fought cancer. Yes, you have a monster truck, but it seems like that truck is just the avenue for you to share your story about being a cancer survivor. So as we're watching this footage, just tell us about how cancer survivor role fits into all this.
Cancer affects everybody. I don't care who it is, cancer affects you. If it either affects you or affects your family. And that truck, people probably wonder, why is it all pink and purple and all that? Well, it's got a meaning. It's got a special meaning.
Sure.
A lot of my friends' wives were having breast cancer. And so we thought some way to give back would be to build a ride truck for cancer. And then I caught it. And I am 7 years cancer-free now. I had throat cancer. That's why my throat crackles and stuff. But we built the truck as some way to give back. We go to monster truck shows, fairs, and we give rides. We talk to cancer people that are maybe going through what I'm going through, or are survivors too. And we give them rides, and we donate partial proceeds back to the local cancers. It's kind of my wife and I's way of giving back to a bad deal and trying to make things a little bit better. We have things where people come up, give you hugs. They say, oh, my mom has had cancer or whatever, and we have our own T-shirts, and we will give shirts out to people like that to try to wear one of our shirts saying, hey, you know, we fight for cancer. I mean, it's a bad deal. You have to have a strong family, and it costs a lot of money. And thank God, I wake up in the morning, I thank him, and I go to bed, and I thank him for a chance to be alive, because it puts a different perspective on life after you go through this. People can say, oh, you got cancer, blah, 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 but until they actually are in my shoes or in the people's shoes that have cancer, they don't know. And you got to have a strong family and community behind you. And that's why we built the truck. It's a way for me to give back. And thank God I got good promoters, like Linda Beckley with Mega Promotions gave us a chance to come down here, her and her son, Scott. And it's a way to show the truck off and give back.
Very good. Mark, we've got one more question. We need to take a break here in just a little bit, but Sarah's got one more question for you.
Yes. By the way, what a beautiful meaning behind that truck.
Absolutely.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers this morning can relate and appreciate that theme. But in regards to the little clip we seen a little minute ago, can you tell us a little bit more about that truck?
That truck is the original Gravedigger 5. And we converted over from a race truck to a ride truck.
Yeah, we knew that.
And
Gravedigger, we knew that, yeah.
Back in if you see a little kid, you're just going to go, Gravedigger, Gravedigger, yeah. That is the original Gravedigger 5 chassis.
I have learned so much so far this morning.
I know the guy built it, and we turn around and it's fully raceable. We converted from a rear engine to a front engine. You've got different shocks nowadays from the old days. You got nitrogen shocks. You got billet brakes, SCS drop box in it, transfer cases. Their truck runs a 502 Ramjet fuel injection in that one. It don't have the big blower motor or nothing like that like the race trucks do. But it's fully operational, fully functional, 66 by 43 by 25 tires on it, lightweight rims, China tires is what she got on her. And the biggest thing is what I still do. I sell parts to a lot of the monster truck guys, the planetaries. They've been on, by kind of crazy to say, but the planetaries on them trucks are back in the 1968 to 1975 military forklifts out of the Army, the Vietnam era. And they are just like indestructible. They're building their own parts now, but that's what almost 75 to 80% of them trucks run them Clark planetaries. Wow. And that's something back from the military days. The good old government built them good.
Yeah. Thank you.